Hello, everybody. Welcome to my garden kitchen. I hope you're enjoying the day. I know that many of you don't have a lot of time in the day to make dinners, and the best thing I think you can do to cook for a lot of people in your family is to make SPEEDGHETTI. And SPEEDGHETTI has an enormous fusion potential. It is a fusion of ingredients on a high flame and then drop to a low flame and then just let it sit. And you can serve it 3-4 hours later if you want. You can even refrigerate it and serve it the next day. So it's going to be exciting. I'm going to make an amazing meal for $6 here. And good evening. I want to take a look at my betta fish, make sure everything's okay here in my garden kitchen. There he is, waiting for me to feed him. Hey there, buddy. We're debating whether we're going to get a full-on tank for him. But I've got him trained to get all excited whenever I put the food there, so I'm going to start feeding him. Here we go. The big pellet. There you go. You saw him jump for it. See that? All right, so here we go. Looking at the ingredients, we're going to start with a really large onion for about 20 cents. I happen to get organic onions, so I'm pretty good that way. Carrots, 2 large carrots. Not too expensive. Again, if you can buy organic in bulk, that's the way to go. We're going to have 1 jalapeno in this. And one of the ways I keep jalapenos pretty safe from getting old is you put them in a bag that's sealed. Now that broke the seal right there, so that's not exactly sealed there. But this is the jalapeno I'm going to use. So I go to the other side of the bag and just twist it really tight. Now, this is a great way to keep limes and lemons as well. We're going to go ahead and make a green pepper as well. We're going to put a large green pepper in here, 50 cents worth. So the vegetables are worth about $1. We're going to take a can of Hunt's tomato sauce that you can get at the dollar store for $1. We're going to take a can of Carina crushed tomatoes you can get at the dollar store for $1. So we're so far up to $3. I picked up this ground beef on sale for $2.50. It was normally $4.50. I got it down $2 off because, as you can see, it's saved now. Use this package, and I put it in the freezer immediately, and then I defrosted today. So this is $2.50. We're at $5.50 pretty much. I'm going to take this up to $7 because I'm going to add mushrooms. Now you can get a can of mushrooms. I happen to get these for 50 cents. Sometimes you can get mushrooms on sale. And I'm going to get a pound of pasta. Now, I'm going to use a variety of pasta. I'm going to mix angel hair with veggie pasta for extra roughage. But you notice how not a lot of these pastas are non-GMO now? Isn't this cool? Ronzoni is doing this. Barilla is doing this. A lot of cool non-GMO pasta. So that's pretty much it. $7 should cover it. Now you can replace the meat dish with sausage. Sausage is totally doable. Yes, so I'm going to expand this out to $7 just to give you a lot of you some wiggle room when making the meal. All right, Barilla, non-GMO is good to know. Yeah, very good to know. I want to give you guys a kind of a helpful tip here. I've been picking up organic Boston lettuce, and it grows in the container. I don't know, you've probably seen these at the store, but if you put it in the window, it actually continues staying green. You don't even have to put it in the refrigerator. It's amazing. And when you get it down to the bottom, just put that in the garden, and it keeps growing. So live lettuce for the win, yeah. Anyway, that pretty much sums up the ingredient list, except for all the spices we're going to be using. Now, I use Italian seasoning as one of my primary ingredients in this meal. You can just get some Italian seasoning. It's mixed. But you can also oh, here we go. Take things that are in the refrigerator, even salsa, and add them. I don't know about the GMO seasoning. My seasoning I get from pretty safe sources. A lot of wiggle room there. But I've got some pasta or pesto, garlic pesto that it's just sitting in a container. I'm going to just rinse that container out in the meat sauce. So anything like salsa you can add to the dish. Anyway, I'm going to get started cooking the main meal here. We'll start with the onion. As usual, the onion is kind of an important item. So we'll go ahead and cut it right in half. Skin and all. And take the bottoms off. Now there is a lot of that stuff that makes your eyes tear up at the bottom, so you got to worry about that. This is a pretty quick peel. This happens to be an organic yellow onion, which I lucked out. I found some organic onions for $2 for 5 pounds. I was pretty happy about that. But you always got to keep an eye on your onions. Sometimes they go bad. You really have to monitor your onions. Otherwise, you'll just have a bag sitting there and it'll smell like hell. And no, these are not man boobs. I work out, man. I have pecs of steel. People comment about how nice my pecs are. Have you seen my hot tub video? So as you can see, I have a pretty straight back too. All right. Onions are good. They're a natural antibiotic. They're really good for you. Yeah. Hands are completely antiseptically clean, and I keep them that way during the cooking process. My hands are cleaner than most surgeons that go in and stick utensils in your gut. Now, I'm not a surgeon, but I'm just telling you, I wash my hands before my cooking experience. All right. So we're going to cut this onion up. You know, I'm going to add a little water to this dish. I'm going to get my water going right away. My camera is on my lens here, so I want a lot of fresh filtered water for this spaghetti. I mean, why put chromium and cadmium in your dinner, you know? So we're going to put that on the back burner and turn it up to level 4. And the front burner I'm going to put on level 4 of 2. So I'm going to switch these around in a little bit. You hear that jet in the background? Yeah. Protecting our nation from people like Donald Trump. It's good our military is wired up, man. I'll tell you, without a weak military, without a good, strong military, we would definitely be in trouble. Hey there, Dupster. What's happening, man? Oh, you're checking out my sponge. Yeah, I love these sponges. Something about this particular brand, it seems to be antibacterial. I don't know what it is, but anyways, you're looking at my sink. All right, so we're going to wait till that pan heats up there and get a little hot oil going and put those onions on top of the oil rather quickly. And again, the usual dice, 1/8 inch. Always be careful with a knife. I'm an expert knife handler, so it's not really a problem for me to work with a knife. But if you have ever cut yourself, it's not fun. All right. Okay, that pan is ready to take some oil. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of oil on there. I use extra virgin olive oil. You got to be careful about that stuff because sometimes there's some bad olive oil out there. It's canola oil posing as olive oil. And there's a big scam about it. You may want to look it up online. Okay, we'll just put the onions right on top of that oil, just starting the pan up, getting going. Okay, next thing up is the peeling the carrots, which we do rather rapidly. It's important to get the carrots really diced, no more than 1/8 of an inch wide, because carrots take a while to cook, and we're not going to have a lot of time to cook them. And they're going at the bottom of the dish. So I highly recommend we handle our carrots quickly. As you know, I'm the fastest chef in the world. Recorded time of less than 2 seconds just cutting one single. I'm just kidding. I have never been tested on my speed. Okay. Okay, we're going to go for a nice tight, like I said, 1/8 inch shave. Pieces can be about this wide. But go for an 1/8 inch, no more than an 1/8 inch. The idea of carrots is to add a little sweetness to the sauce naturally, and they're really good for your eyes. I'm telling you, great source of better vision. If you ever find yourself running out of vision capability, you're definitely going to benefit from. Let me expand that print. Hang on. I will always be careful with a knife. Yes, good. With teeth loves Dave cooking. Hi. All right. Dave's hair is just drying. Yes. Now with this pan just slightly getting hot here on level 4, and the other pan in the back with the water in it slightly getting warm, things aren't really happening too fast right now in the Fusion Central kitchen of David. And I think that the garden kitchen really, the essential ingredient here is a garden. So you've got to actually be surrounded by some sort of a living plant in order to feel like it. And I put cactus in here. All right, that's perfect. I take advantage of every part of the carrot, and these are organic carrots, so why waste them, right? Okay, that is going in on top of the onion immediately. Push it right down. Okay. All right. Nothing's really happening, so what I'm going to do is supercharge this. I'm going to add some Italian seasoning, about a teaspoon. That's a pretty sizable amount, a level teaspoon. I'm going to switch the grills because the other back burner is a bigger burner, and I'm going to put the water in front. I'm going to cover that up. I'm going to crank it to level 7. Both levels. This is medium high. All right. This, I think we could actually, I'm actually got a little garden back here. It's kind of cool. These are going to rinse off because they were kind of, waiting to be cooked or eaten. Filtered water is great. Soak them for a bit. Remember, mushrooms are grown in chicken manure. So, yeah, mushrooms. I know. You're on shrooms right now? Uh-oh. This isn't the kind of mushroom that has psilocybin in it, so you don't have to worry about getting high on these mushrooms. Remember that pesto stuff that I was talking about? Well, I'm going to add a little water to that. Like that. Now you can take it and just add a little water to your dish if you're just sitting in there with a lot of Italian seasoning. But I'm going to put that in the big pan back here. Let me give it a second rinse. Get all that basil and pesto from it. Now that's true. You can use salsa, whatever you want in your meal. Okay, it's really important that you start prepping your jalapeno right now. And the jalapeno is what makes this dinner kind of pop. So we're going to pull off the outer layer, leaving the seeds behind, and just use the outer layer. Do not use the seeds, and do not touch your eyes after touching that little sucker, because that little sucker will burn. Some people are really allergic. Some people actually break out in anaphylactic shock when they're getting near jalapeno. So you have to ask somebody, are you sensitive to jalapeno in your meal? Now, it's a very thin dice. We're talking less than 1/8 of an inch. All right? And rinse your hands off immediately after doing this. I'm basically mincing this jalapeno really fine. All right. Now, I like to cook with garlic, so I've got some garlic here that I'm going to add to it right here. Don't wipe your what? No, that's not true. I'm not a racist, no. Never was. It was very difficult for me to do a blackface video because I am a guy who really doesn't really approve of that. I know that sounds a little strange, and I realize I understand people's concern when I did it, but hey, I've been censored so long that I had to do something to get noticed. So I'm going to take and mince up some garlic the same way I just minced up the jalapeno. I'm not going to wash my hands yet because they're still pretty much ready to hit the garlic. I'm going to take and pound that garlic so it takes the shell right off. It just breaks right off. The shell is really easy to work with. Hello. Yeah, so this is SPEEDGHETTI. I mean, it's not that fast, but what we're doing is cooking quickly, and with the temperature at 7 right now, and a little bit of water in there, it's steam frying, and it's really it's cooking pretty quick. I haven't really done anything to that carrot onion mix, but in just a second, I'm going to add these added ingredients. Okay. All right, we're there. I'm going to go ahead and put them all on the knife. I'm going to take inside the pan here. I'm going to carve out a little section in the middle. Right there. Make it like a donut in there, right in the center. I'm going to put a little bit more oil in the center. Another tablespoon. We're up to 4 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to put the garlic and jalapeno right in the middle, right in the center of that dish, like the center of a donut. Okay. Press it into the middle, and then cover it right up, and you're still cooking. Yeah. I spend very little on food. I'm amazing. No, I have an amazing body shape. I don't know if you've ever seen my body up close, but my whole middle torso is like a massive muscle. That's the best way I can describe it. No, there's no fat on me. Hardly any. Yeah, I do so many sit-ups that, the flabs of steel have actually become abs of steel, and then converted back to abs on top of abs. So I can't really show you my stomach because it looks like abs on top of abs. I knew you'd make a reference to speed. I knew that was going to come. Yeah, so flabs of steel, I call it, but anyway, having a massive torso like this, it's difficult because I intimidate people when I walk around, just looking the way I do. I have about a BMI of, I don't know, maybe 5%. Pro tip, I want to wear oversized clothes because if you have anything that's tight around your waist, you're going to develop hernias. You're going to develop problems with your appendix. Oh yeah, you think I'm kidding? So you want a little looseness around your belly. Yeah, I'm a stud. It's true. You got kicked out. I don't know how that happened, man. I didn't touch you. I did not kick you out. Yeah, here's a picture of my body in the hot tub. As you can see, I have a fairly large upper body, and yeah, what boy, that's really cooking in the background. Look at that steam, man. It's getting hot in here. But you can see that my upper body has this large. When I was, you see, I'm Scandinavian, and I have this tremendous amount of, I don't know, I guess it's thickness because they have to handle winters in Norway. And they have, boy, that's cooking like crazy, man. My water's almost boiling. I got to get busy. I'd love to talk about my wonderful upper body, but I'd rather, focus on cooking here. Okay, these mushrooms got to be dealt with, okay? Now, you can also replace this with a can of mushrooms if you want. Perfectly okay. These look okay, like they're ready to, kind of work with. I'm going to cut them in half and lay them down like this, face down. Not nice. Just lay them down like they're camping out on the breadboard. They're all nice and flat. All right. I'm going to go ahead and chop these about a 1/4 inch thick. And like I said, you can use canned mushrooms if you want. It's entirely up to you. They're pretty cheap, canned mushrooms are. Wow, things are really cooking in here. Where's the beef? It's coming. Okay, it's important that you do not move those jalapenos around. You want to keep them right in the center of that ring so they cook really fast and hard. So what I'm going to do is open up the pan and throw some mushrooms down. And kind of gingerly adjust everything. Taking the outside, moving it over the jalapenos, like that. Make a little pile on top of the jalapenos with the carrot. Then I'm going to come in with a little bit of water here. I call this steam frying. Put the mushrooms around the outside, kind of gingerly around there. And then cover it up and give it a little shake. Okay, we're at a roaring boil in the front here. We're all set to add our spaghetti. I'm going to use half of a veggie spaghetti. It's a little thicker grade than the angel hair, so I'm going to go with that first. And one way to get the spaghetti out of a box is just take it all like that in your hand and break it right in the middle like you're breaking bread. Straight into the water, but don't drop your hands in the water, and then just drop those 2 halves in. Isn't that nice? Now you want to get a stir going right away, otherwise you're going to stick on the bottom. Start stirring them in immediately. Cool. Little ginger stir. Yeah, I'm going to cook those for about 2 minutes before I add the angel hair. This green pepper is coming out of Mexico, and no, it is not organic. But hey, for 50 cents, how can you beat a big green pepper like that, That's huge. Be very careful when you're around steaming water, because if this thing goes anywhere near, like if you put the handle here, like there, common mistake, people put a handle right there. Don't ever do that, ever. Always put your handles back away from you. Because if you grab that handle, it goes on your foot, you got 3rd-degree burns or worse. And your skin is going to boil. Okay, I'm just going to go to slice these green peppers off the side. And again, you can plant these seeds if you want. Same with the jalapenos. But do not put the seeds in your dinner, whatever you do. Sarah would be very upset if she found a seed in her meal. She seems to be xenophobic. I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but hey, I don't mind it. All right, and sometimes they have a little label on the outside of these things. It's really important that you take the label off. Really important. Yeah, you don't want to actually serve that label. All right. Be sure you take that off. Yeah, you don't want to. I'm holding it together is what I am. Okay, here we go. Cutting up the green pepper. We're going to do a 1/4-inch cuts. Those are the long cuts, and then I have to do the side cuts. You know, I'm amazed I haven't been picked up on the Food Network, so it's kind of amazing. So I would really love to have a bigger breadboard. Working in a confined space here with a camera is just kind of a pain. Okay, give that a big stir. There you go. Otherwise, that spaghetti's going to stick. Yeah. Anything that falls to the ground, you have to rinse off. Okay. You're wondering why I'm putting the green pepper in last, because otherwise it gets slimy. And you want to have that green pepper kind of crispy when you're eating it, when you're making your garden vegetable SPEEDGHETTI. You know, this is very fast cooked. The level 7 is huge. Okay, we're going to add our angel here now. This is non-GMO. Very important. Look for that now when you buy your pasta. It's really good. And I'm going to take a half a package and leave this other package for later. This pasta is just really thin. It's called angel hair. It's even thinner than capellini. Put that on top. Okay. Cooking. This will take about 8 minutes. 8 to 9 minutes on a boil. And what some people do, which is kind of a neat idea, is to add some Italian seasoning to the water. Just give it a little sprinkle for flavor. I can cover it up if I want to preserve the heat, but it's cooking at a pretty good boil. Otherwise, if I cover it completely, it's going to foam up really fast. So you just want to keep the cover ajar like that. All right, so this goes back in the cupboard, and I get to it later for another meal. And the green peppers now go into the virtual cooking carrots and onions. Here we go. Everything's going to be stirred now. Stir it all up. All the flavors are melding. Very good. Okay, putting the green pepper in there. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more water. About that much water. Give it a little shake. Hey, you're home. Hi, didn't hear you. Welcome. How was your day? Super. Making SPEEDGHETTI here and having a good time. Yeah. You know, if you have a little butter, it's kind of a neat idea to throw a little butter in there.
You want me to bring on some fresh oregano?
Well, if you want, yeah, go for it. You want to go grab some? Butter's also good in the spaghetti. After you put it up when it's already done, you can set it in butter. Whoa, flying butter. Not expect that. Come here. Wow, that just slipped right out of my fingers there. Wow, this is like a boiling cauldron here. Give the spaghetti quite a few stirs. You don't want it to stick. When it's al dente, you're ready to go. No, I don't think they really want me on TV. I've been censored for 7, 8 years now in America. Yeah, pass those berry bunnies. So we've got one heck of a raging president, don't we? This is bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Okay, everything's cooking at 7 still, which is amazing. Okay, I'm going to deploy another pan here in the back. And this is the vision where I use whenever I have a big meal and I'm cooking for 10 people. It's really great. Big glass that can handle any heat. I'm going to put that on level 3. And throw a little butter on the base of that.
That's oregano.
Oh, and that's the oregano. Cool. Let me get that in right now. This butter is getting so soft. I'm just gonna put it in the refrigerator. Okay, Sarah has some really good oregano. Where is it? Oh, okay. I'll chop it up. That's awesome. I love the smell of fresh oregano. You're sure that's oregano? It is. It is oregano. Yeah. There's a hoax going on. Okay, I'm going to turn the temperature completely off on the front burner. I'm just let that set in its own heat now. I'm going to turn the back burner down to 3, and I'm going to add my meat. Now this is ground beef, $2 off, a $4.50 pound of ground beef. I'm going to mince up that oregano that Sarah gave me, and it's going to go at the base of the dish without the stem. Otherwise, the stem will get in somebody's teeth. I don't want that. I tried that mic. I'm going to need some volume amplifier on it, that wireless mic.
Oh.
It needs to get a pickup amp. So Mad Dog's going to help me with that. He thinks he has something I can use. Okay. I'm going to throw that oregano in at the bottom of this dish, pushing everything around. Push all the vegetables to the side. Make kind of an open circle in the middle. And I would throw a little bit more oil down. Gosh, we're up to, I'm going to say 5 teaspoons of oil, not 5 tablespoons. That's a little easier. 5 teaspoons of oil on this. I'm going to throw that oregano right on the bottom. And then I'm going to literally put that meat right on top, cutting the top off of it. And this is 85% lean. This is the good stuff. But again, you can use sausage for this stage of the meal. Now the vegetables are still only half cooked. Okay. And take a spatula and break up the meat kind of sideways. Press it down onto the herbs like that. And make a crisscross. And this also applies to slicing sausages. You press it down like that. Cover that sucker up. And I'm ready to drain my spaghetti. So I turn the water on when I do that, so it doesn't put hot water down the drain. Put a little bit in there like that to, okay. Great. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in the glass container, the Visions, on top of the butter. There you go. Okay. And move it around like that around the base. Okay. That's on a level 3 back there. Okay, we're going to open up 2 cans. Yes. Okay, we're going to give that spaghetti a little stir so it doesn't stick. Okay, you can put some meat sauce on the top of it if you want. This is right out of the can. And just let it sit there with the meat sauce in it. Use about a half of that can there. And then get ready to flip that that meat over as soon as it cooks for about another 2 or 3 more minutes. Now, I don't do electric can openers. These are the best. You got to find one that really works. And electricity is something I don't like to waste. So, you know, electric can openers are kind of a joke. I've used them ever since the 1960s. And the one we had from the 1960s started electrocuting the family in 1982. So we had to get rid of it. Yeah, everybody started to get a shock whenever they got near it. It's like, I don't think this is safe. All right. Happy holidays. Thank you. No, the dinner is going to be great. Did you see that meat? That's going to be really wholesome meal. Very wholesome meal. Ah, very wholesome. You recycle. Some of these are recyclable. I don't know. My recycling company is a little bit weird. They won't take these kind of containers. They don't take mushroom containers. I don't know. And the lady that does the recycling, she jumps on you saying, "Hey, you're not allowed to put those in there. Don't do that." It's like, "Oh, okay. Yeah. You better not in the future too." Okay. I know. I'm so clever. All right. Isn't this great? Now, we're going to open up that container. Trying to find out where my spatula went. Oh, spatula. Here it is. Okay. We're going to take a side angle of this, overlooking the cans that are waiting to go in there. Whoa, look at that. We're going to flip that meat over. I don't think you can see it properly. Let me open up the area. Flip it right on top of itself. Segments. Press it in the middle there. Okay, I'm taking that temperature up to 7 again. Because this is a fusion meal. This is a fusion meal. This is a blending of ingredients rapidly. And using dollar store ingredients is pretty amazing. Dear God, Dave. Dear God. A jazz fusion meal, yeah. Clean hands, cleaner than most surgeons. I'm not going to talk about Mark right now. Whatever's going on with Mark is he might as well enjoy his time right now because it's going to be a memory for him. I want him to enjoy every single dollar he makes censoring me illegally. Live it up, Mark. You'll need to look back on this time period and say, wow, I really lived at David's expense and the country's expense, keeping David from the White House for 4 years. That really helped out your bottom line there, Mark. Buying a boat and a car, and I'm not threatening anybody. No, I said enjoy your money, man. Enjoy it while you can, because there may be a time when you don't have money and you may be somewhere you won't want to be. Yeah. Okay, make sure everything's not sticking over here. You know, there's a little stick going on, so you know, I'm going to take some of that crushed tomato and put it in there too. I'm going to put some crushed tomato on top of the meat too. Okay. Yeah, heck, I'm going to put a little bit of the meat sauce in this one too, along the side. That's about as much as that pan right there can handle right up here. And then the rest of the meat sauce right on top of the spaghetti. I normally don't mix spaghetti at the meal, but you know, when you're making SPEEDGHETTI, you want to mix it. And this technique's pretty good. You put water in one can and go from one can to the other. Getting all the tomato sauce off the side of the can. So you're maximizing the use of your tomato sauce. All right, we're pretty much cleaned out here. And that goes in the recycling bin, which Sarah and I are now using we're trying to avoid the jets now in our recycling area, so we go together when we can on the weekends, because the jets don't fly on the weekends, which is the only thing the government's helping in the area to prevent the jets from. They're so loud at the recycling area, it literally can blast your eardrums. I'm going to wipe that grill off a bit at the top. Okay, now is the time to take your spatula and move all the meat around, and then break everything up with the spatula in the middle. You're basically getting a really hot sauce going rapidly now at level 7. And the exterior is still cooking your carrots and your peppers and your onions and your mushrooms. Make sure all that meat's broken up as best you can. Otherwise, people get big lumps and then somebody doesn't get any at the end. It's not fairly distributed. But the nice thing about cooking with 85% meat versus some of the lower end of the ground chucks is you have a layer of fat in there that you don't know what to do with, and you know it's going in your arteries. I don't really want fat in my arteries, thank you. Bad enough, you know, dealing with life in general. All right. So overall, you had a pretty good day, huh? It was exciting. Excellent. Okay, be sure you adjust the spaghetti. Make sure it's not sticking. Give it a little movement. All right. And that's about ready to fuse the ingredients. We're almost done. All right. I prepped the ground out there with the weeds, but I didn't plant the oregano, so I'm going to get some fertilizer at the market. Yeah, that's a maple pecan dressing. Trader Joe's put this. It's actually a granola cereal. It's really good stuff. And then Annie's, I got these for $1 a box. The Annie's Berry Bunnies. They're organic and non-GMO. It's pretty good. All right, so everything's going together now. That back burner goes to the off position. It's completely boiling back here. You can see it. That sauce is melded completely, and the meat is broken up, and the carrots are cooked. Isn't that amazing? We're done. So we're going to put that right on top of the burner back here. That's over here. So here we go. Ready? Pour that right in there, making sure everything's off the bottom. Okay. Gently push it in and rotate it slightly with the spatula, so there's no stickiness at the bottom. Turn your temperature down to simmer or off even. You can turn the temperature off. Yeah, I'm going to turn the temperature off. Everything's done and rotated and ready to serve. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, I'm going to top it off with some Parmesan cheese. And I'm just going to let it set on the burner and keep it warm by burning a plate on top. But let me show you what it looks like. 10 meals for $7. All right. All right. You could pretty much eat this out of the refrigerator for 10 days if you wanted. I know. I could cook for a wrecking crew with this. Hey, I'm going to go wrap this up, close down this show, and say sayonara to everybody. This has been an America's Third Party broadcast. Thank you. We will see you in the other room. Refresh in about 1 minute. I'll have my suit on. I'll be ready to go. It really is good. And if you really want to add some spice to this, throw a little hot sauce on it if it's not spicy enough with those jalapenos. But you might be surprised. Those jalapenos really add that edge to it that give people that wow, I want some more kind of taste. Okay. I'll take a look at that dark engine. Yeah. Could you post that link again when I get into the other show? Thank you. Okay. See you in a bit. Thanks for coming into David's Kitchen.